About 10 years ago, I was absolutely fed up. I woke up one morning and I remember that before going to take a shower, before going to on my computer or my TV for breakfast, the first thing that I had to do was go to the convenience store and buy a pack of cigarettes. And at that moment, I realized the cigarettes were controlling me. I wasn't controlling the cigarettes were controlling me. And I was absolutely fed up with it. I had to find a way. I said to myself, there had to be a way. There has to be a better way to quit smoking. I've quit smoking in the past. I quit for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months multiple times, and then I always went back to smoking. So I was looking for a way that was long term, something that was going to completely rid me of cigarette smoking, and I was going to get completely through it. And what I found was absolutely unbelievable. As of 2018, I've been about 10 years smoke free, and I haven't contemplated going back to it. I consider myself completely through cravings and struggles and that kind of thing. And I wanted to share this story because I found peace. I found peace, I found health, I found longevity, and I found freedom from chains that you think you would have to struggle for the rest of your life. I wanted to make this video to show that you don't have to struggle, that you can find peace. The first step is to come to the realization, the belief that you can find full peace without cigarettes. So the question is, how did I do it? How did I find a way that it sounds too good to be true? How could you find a way to quit smoking so that you didn't have any cravings? You weren't constantly craving the nicotine. And the long story short is how I found it was I went on Amazon and I looked at different books. I looked at what was out there. I tried the gums, I tried the patches, they didn't work for me. I'm a firm believer that there's many ways to make $1 million. The old saying goes, there's many ways to skin a cat. I believe there's many ways to win $1 million. So there's many ways to find the end goal to quit smoking. But the one I found particularly worked good for me, and it worked good for hundreds and hundreds of people. And that's why I'm sharing this advice, because I think that it could help you too. So I went on Amazon and I found this book by the author. The author's name was Alan Carr. And this man was a long-term smoker. He smoked for about 40 or 50 years of his life. He was older in his age when he wrote the book. And he used to smoke one, sometimes two packs a day. He had the typical life, he tried everything underneath the sun. He tried to quit. He tried the patches. He tried everything, and nothing worked for him. Finally, one of his friends convinced him to go to a hypnotist and to try hypnotherapy as a means of quitting smoking. And what happened was he was very skeptical at first, but unwittingly, he said it's worth giving it a try. So he went to the hypnotherapist. He went to the hypnotherapy sessions. And what happened completely amazed him. After a couple sessions, he was completely smoke-free. And not only was he smoke-free, it was the easiest thing. It was the easiest thing he's done in terms of quitting an addiction. It wasn't a struggle. It wasn't, difficult path. It was something that was easy for him. And what he did, Alan Carr, the book is called Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Smoking. And what he did is he wrote his book based upon his experience and based upon his learnings and based upon every belief that people have about smoking, every false belief. He deconstructs everything you believe about smoking and reveals to you the true reasons why you're smoking in the first place. And I just want to say one thing. It all boils down to one thing. And people will say they smoke because of stress, they smoke because they're in a bad position or emotionally unstable or whatever the reason is. And if you read the book, it will tell you these things are all myths. They're all myths. And it only comes down to one thing, and that is nicotine. And one of the passages in the book spoke very clearly to me. And it was something that I never forgot. And it actually turned a light bulb on in my head. And that saying, what he said was that, nicotine is not as strong as you would think. If you think about it, and you're a smoker and you go to sleep at night, you can go 10 hours or 12 hours easily without a cigarette and wake up the next morning. You don't have to wake up every hour to smoke a cigarette. You don't have to wake up every 3 hours to smoke a cigarette. So nicotine is not as strong as people think. And the main problem when quitting smoking is the psychological problem. Everything is in your head. They say addiction, you have to battle addiction in your head, in your mind, psychologically. That's where the battle takes place. It's not physically, but it's mentally, it's psychologically. And the main thing that you have to think about is nicotine. And what he said was that if nicotine stays in the system for a certain period of time. Now, I forget what that period of time was, but I think it's 48 to 60 hours until all that nicotine is completely out of your system. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit longer than that. It could be 3 or 4 days or even a week. But what he said was very clear. And he said that once the nicotine was completely out of your system, then any craving that you had to smoke a cigarette was completely mental. It's not nicotine. It wasn't the addiction. It was all in your head. And he backs this up. He backs this up by proof and by studies showing how long it takes for nicotine to get out of the system. So if you ever tried quitting before, and I've done it in the past, I've tried cold turkey, and you'll notice that after a week or 2 weeks, or even after a couple months, you have that physical craving for cigarettes. And the thing is, it's all in your mind. And it's all in the beliefs that you have about smoking. It's all in the false beliefs that you have about smoking. And what he does in the book, he deconstructs all these false beliefs that you have about smoking, and he leaves you with what's really going on in your body. He truly makes you understand what's happening when you smoke a cigarette. And he even encourages you. He encourages you to keep smoking while reading the book. Now, I just have to say this one thing. You just have to read the book. There's no exercises you have to do. There's no mental processes you have to do. There's no homework you have to do. All you have to do to quit smoking easily, like I did, and I've never looked back after 10 years of being smoke-free without any cravings whatsoever, is read the book. You just have to read the book from cover to cover, and you will get the same, I believe you will get the same benefits, the same results that I got when I read the book. No exercises, no mental breathing exercises or anything like that. But you just have to read the book. And there's an audio tape as well. I don't have anything to gain from this. I'm just sharing my experience because, in my opinion, it was an absolute miracle what happened. I paid $7 or $8 for the audio CD. I took notes, and it was the best $8 I've spent in my life. The best $8 I spent in my life was on that book. It reclaimed my life. It reclaimed my lungs. It reclaimed the energy in my life. Not only did it do that, it made me free of cravings, of pangs, of all those miserable thoughts in your head. You have thoughts in your head that's keeping that addiction alive. And until you get those thoughts away, until you get those old beliefs away, like smoking relieves stress, which it doesn't. All you're doing is you're addicted to nicotine, and you've associated stress with nicotine. It has nothing to do with stress or relieving stress. It actually, smoking makes you more stressful. It increases your heart rate. It makes breathing more difficult. You're pumping nicotine through your blood. So as a result of smoking, you're actually making yourself more stressful than not. You have to read the book. You have to get the audio CD. I recommend it 1000%. All you have to lose is the price of a pack of cigarettes. The price of a pack of cigarettes is $7 or $8 in Canada where I live. And all you have to lose is that $7 or $8 to buy his book or to buy the audio CD or on audible.com and to try his method. And I vouch for his method. I am happy. And like I said, it was the best $8 that I've spent in my life. I hope that this video inspires you in some way. Just to know that as an ex-smoker, I smoked for 20 years, over a pack a day. Sometimes I would smoke 2 packs, go into the bars on the weekend. I used to wheeze, I used to cough. I got sick all the time, constantly. For 20 years, from when I was 18 to when I was 37 or 38. I smoked 1 to 2 packs a day. And after reading his book, I consider his book a cure. I consider his book a cure to smoking. So I just want to encourage you, go for it. Try to have absolutely nothing to gain by sharing this story. I just wanted to share this story because it helped me out and it was a miracle in my life. Go on Amazon, read the reviews, and try it out. You have absolutely nothing to lose. So I pray that you can find the same peace that I found. And just remember one thing. There is peace, and there is serenity after you quit smoking. It is 100% absolutely possible. I'm not suffering. I'm not in any withdrawal symptoms. I don't crave cigarettes daily. It's completely out of my mind. It's as if I've never touched a cigarette before in my life. So I just want to leave that. It is possible. And I just want to leave you with that. I hope you can get something from this video. I hope that you quit smoking. I hope that you get your life back. And I'll just leave you with that. Thanks a lot for watching this video.